All right, we're gonna start with Foster Road. Everybody, are you ready? Everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Anthony.
All right, so, this is the next phase of Foster. We already did the two. The two outside lots, 1 and 2. Now this is just a continuation of that subdivision. We're cutting off 2 more frontage lots, the larger lot in the back. That lot is, the lot in the back is being designed right now, so going through kind of a couple of different iterations of what it can look like. So right now, in order to continue on with Gerber's our contract by the 2 front, they want to purchase the 2 front lots and then continue on with the subdivision. So it's just the same 2 front that we did before, same size, same length, same width.
So it'll be 4 in the front.
And then the barn is gonna be coming down this
Mhm.
spring. Like I said, we talked to 1 or 2 guys and they're interested in coming and taking it down. And if they don't want it, we're just gonna rip it down ourselves.
So I'm thinking variance for lot 1 frontage.
If we do the private road, can we pull the frontage off of that instead? Kind of like,
Oh, are you thinking like
yeah, like,
DeMarco?
yeah, or 5B1. At Fox Ridge, that's kind of what we do, the same thing. Where the frontage comes off of that lot, because it'll be a private road, private right away. Or like the Marco,
What's the width of the pole and the flag lot?
50
50?
feet.
Okay.
it's 50, it's like 58 or something at the road.
It is.
And the other 2 lots conform to,
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're 125.
There'll be most likely driveways off of Foster for those 2 lots.
yeah, that's what
Okay,
we're thinking. Cause then they wouldn't be considered access off the private right away.
Right, I was like, is the law 3 lots? or
it's more than 3.
When did that
so
change?
that changed last year.
Last year,
It's like, I feel like it was last November, maybe.
It's more than 3, so it's not 3 lots,
It's 4.
lots. Okay.
Yeah, so
so you
So
can do
also-
4 or you can't.
no, 4 triggers public road specs.
But what if the 4 lot subdivision was like this? Would then, my point being is it also stipulated that those 4 lots are accessing off of that? Future driveway road, therefore then that triggers
Yeah.
it to be a town road.
Yeah.
the fact that the other lots
4 lots with
front of.
3 lots fronting off Foster,
That would have
They
been,
don't, they don't count. Like,
okay.
no, because, no, they
It's
would,
it's the number of lots off the access.
So that's, I want to make sure, I don't want to pigeonhole ourselves, 3 lots is the.
that's the max you're gonna do
With
with
a private.
private,
Right, right.
yeah. Yeah,
With access off of whatever that private road or drive is, that's what would trigger 4 lots off of that. Triggers the need for it to be a dedicated road.
Gotcha.
I guess then we need to figure out is 58 wide enough for a private drive.
I don't know what, I don't recall what other changes occurred when we defined that.
Sign the width, but. It might cross reference, I need to look. We need
I know
to talk
6 is
about that,
public.
yeah,
Lot width is,
We have a standard for private
private, I,
drive.
we have a private drive standard,
Sta-
but I don't,
The driveway
I don't-
widths are there, but not the right of way.
yeah, I don't know, because there's typically not a right of way, so it's just a road width of, let's say, 20 feet.
yes.
Right.
Right,
And we can fit that all in there, so it fits.
You're proposing right now a 50-foot frontage?
Well, it's 50,
it's 58.
and then it next up in the back just to get a little,
Yeah,
to get that 60, so it's close, it's within a foot or 2.
What's your access out there at Fox Ridge for your property? Is that,
That's 60.
is it 60? But you've got the 2 lots and then you.
There's 4 lots on either side, and then I go through.
Yours.
But my parcel is like that one, it owns the right of way. So there's a private driving agreement. It's about the same thing.
All right,
Well,
well,
there's 5 off of that one, because that was before.
that
we'll
was.
have to look into that.
So.
We'll double check that.
The intent though, Anthony, would.
The intent is gonna subdivide it into 3.
There's a future
Yes.
potential.
Yes, that's 100% the reason. We're just been working with the county sewer to try to go and see how they want to do it, because. You know, you can access sewer, water and everything off of the frontage lots. We have to do something a little fancy to get back there, which might be involving some sort of pump stations. Individual. you know, E1s or duplexes or something like that.
So in creating a legal lot, you probably need a variance, but if he's proposing to build a private drive. That's the question.
That's the question.
And we can put the private right of way in place now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought it was 60. I feel like DeMarco's was 60, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that was pre.
It was already 60.
It was already
60,
there, it was
60,
2,
yeah.
246, you know.
We need to
That
look
width
at
never
it.
Came up. So. It was just, this is what we wanted to do, and it happened to be 2
Okay,
20-foot lots or 15
All right.
foot lots, I don't know.
you wanna go get your shades?
I don't think that's gonna happen. That's so blurry. It's funny that they give you the dates, like, hey, I want when your next appointment is, I'm like, well, can you give me some?
Yeah, email me.
I tell you what month it is. I think the right date.
You have any concept of what that's gonna look like in the back as far as? How it's
Well,
gonna
with the,
spread?
we were gonna do 4, but now we're gonna do 3, so I have to change a little bit. So you're gonna probably have, you'll probably have one home to the right, one home kind of left, and then more than likely we're gonna have
I'm
a
just-
home in this area,
Mhm.
one probably back in here, and then one here. We had 4 kind of laid out, but now we're gonna knock it down.
I'm just,
So what are you gonna do with who gets the constrained land? Is that gonna be part of? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, one of the options was to create a single lot back there that kind of everybody owns, so they could access it, but we might have to attach it to 1 or 2 of them. We might have to configure the lots so they all kind of have their own. I know it has its own lot, doesn't it now? The constrained lands. They can't be like conservation easement areas, can't be on the people's, or is that?
So.
Metros.
We Metros
That just
one
doesn't own-
has conservation land on a lot, right?
owned by
Here's
the
for
lot.
Owned by the lot.
There's
And
2 of them in Fox Ridge, well, 3 of them in Fox Ridge, mine, Megan, Billy, and Megan McCarthy.
I think ideally the town had always had the stance that we don't want it on another lot, but then the question comes in, who owns and maintains it?
But but also like in this situation, that'd be a 4th lot,
Right,
which would make me have to put in a public road for a town.
I don't.
I don't think-
Or can we like, if it's
If it's not
conservation lot, it's
right.
not residential, I wouldn't be bumped up to it.
I think
But that
we
makes
have
sense.
some options there with the town on that,
We'd have to, yeah, and then we just have to. I don't know.
but we have to look at the conservation subdivision. requirements. What does it technically require us to do?
Yeah,
Well, okay, again, you don't have to design that at this
yeah,
point, but I was just thinking. To get over that issue of having a lot with a flag lot, flag lot. Make sure that it's to be developed in the future, so.
It is, I can put a note on there and we can actually put the right of way. in
Or
place.
this will not be a single lot or something that.
Yeah, I think the subdivision plat for this particular,
Mhm.
we have to have something, and obviously the conditions would be.
Saying if this isn't subdivided further,
Or
which is actually opposite of what we usually do.
Right, but it would have to be
So-
something, otherwise you would be technically needing a variance, right, to create that.
yeah,
So we have. to
So
have something-
if someone was to come and say, well, I want the whole thing, Gerber says they find someone that says, I want the whole thing. Well, all right, well, now we have to go back to variance.
Here's the funny part, is that if that happened. They couldn't even deny the variance, really, because.
No, they
2
couldn't.
residential lots already built.
Well, the lot what they could deny.
You could deny the variance for the back.
for the back.
I think we have this lot.
So you have a lot that.
Then
you
there's
don't-
like a.
I mean, I
lot.
guess that's the risk he runs.
I mean, in all general, I could just subdivide it in 2 and sell 2 lots of 1 person.
You could, yeah,
Okay,
Yeah, there's options there.
there's options. Well, let's,
It's the
But just know
formality.
that's-
it is.
but it's not an issue, but
it
we
is
have to think about it.
100% the plan to.
Yeah.
Expand the subdivision. Bring more on.
Sorry, I'm having issues navigating this today. There we go.
So this proposal though, right now is not a conservation subdivision, simply
Okay.
3 lots. Potentially with some caveat about a private drive verbiage, that's what we're intending
That's
to do now.
Correct. The
On
next
any
one. would be-
Future,
yes.
there would be some time.
The next time we come from you, it'll be conservation, it'll be all the,
Right, right.
everything that's,
Whatever.
and more than
we decide.
likely, it'll be the developed portion, the engineered set, the whole
Makes
thing.
sense.
Okay,
Because in that design, we have to figure out the sewer.
And I think in the original subdivision, you committed to take the barn.
Yes, that's coming down, like I said.
So I think
This one. is
it's
100%.
gonna be a
It's
definite
a
condition for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as soon as the weather breaks, it'll be being worked on.
I'm sorry.
Do I need a demo permit from them? I should take it down.
Mm-hmm.
The barn.
For the
I
barn,
just file a demo permit.
I would file it just so we have
Yeah.
it, because it's Foster Road, we'll be getting questions.
Yeah, Chris said we needed one, Anthony.
Okay, that's Luke. That's one of the guys.
Who's that?
That's Luke.
Oh, is that your partner?
Yeah.
One of your partners?
I think you've talked to him a couple things on other things. I don't think I was at residence.
Once you get one, you can do it whatever you want.
Okay, all right, sounds
Any
good.
restrictions.
No, it's just, hey, heads up, we're doing this
Yeah.
kind of thing.
So in the town was someone called them.
Well, yeah, I mean, because Foster Road is like. Optics are high there,
Yes, very, every day,
especially since the chairman lives over there.
somebody drives by it every day.
We'll make sure we keep it.
And I'm looking
clean.
at the calendar here.
All right, something that we have to consider. You put 3 more lots, right? So that'd be 5 lots. Those 3 lots are gonna be 5 acres or less?
Yeah.
Realty subdivision DOH
Not- And one of them is giant.
right now.
Right
But for the next
now.
3 years,
Yeah,
So-
you gotta watch realty
our
subdivision.
realty subdivision requirements have come, they're holding the towns responsible for. Seeker being done as a type 1,
Okay.
all right? Right now, your
Yeah.
standard as we've always done.
Okay.
Everything will look the same. But if within the next 3 years, if you come in with a project,
3-4 acre lots.
3-4 acres lots of that, technically, the town is going to have to require a full type 1 EAF to be completed, which I don't think it's gonna be any downside to you guys, other than the fact that we have to do a coordinated review. We have to do it for just the subdivision of land,
Okay.
because it'll be technically 5 lots, 5 acres or less over a 3-year period of time. That's the rule.
Okay.
5 acres or more, or 5 acres or less. 5 lots or more. Within a 3-year
So it hits
period of
that,
time.
okay.
Three, but it's
It
3
could. It might
consecutive.
not, but it could.
Yeah, they have to be back to back to back. There's no, right?
It's within that 3-year period. They
There's
don't want
that
people to
window.
Segment projects and way to get underneath it.
Yeah.
This is DOH stupid stuff. I don't think you'll have any hindrance on your.
It's just
project
not
other
just
than the
that.
timing.
Okay,
Exactly.
that's fine.
Okay,
So that is a
Kind of
new
dates.
requirement then.
It's
It
always,
is.
it's so DOH has adopted their own type 1 list. They've always had.
Yeah.
And they say realty subdivisions is type 1 action. The problem is we follow the seeker guidelines, and seeker guidelines say this is what a subdivision requirement is, and we do it that way. DOH has now come back to the town and said, sorry, you need to follow our process when it hits this. So they're requiring all subdivisions, meeting that criteria to go through this type 1 process. Which is a pain in the butt because 5 lot, it's just, but most of the time. When we get it, it's these lots that it's gonna be problematic, where you have the 3 and then 3 and 3, right? It's not the 5 because they're probably a site plan with.
that would already be covered mostly,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so pending, we figure out or ensure that the private drive doesn't need some sort of variance, even if it does. We can put it on for the 25th of April.
Okay.
Does that work, Chuck? Lance,
Uh,
is that the date? Yeah, April 25th. It's insane.
I always think when you're in January, you start talking about March.
So ZBA would be the 18th.
If we need ZBA, it would be 18th and then.
18th and the 25th.
Yeah.
On CBA and tax day.
So at the very least, it's a unlisted, right? Lance?
Yeah, right now, I would this is by all definitions of an unlisted action, and we would follow our standard procedure. As we would always.
Okay.
It's just, there would be a note probably on the plat that just says, within the next 3 years, if this is the,
Mhm.
then we would have to do a type 1. And then next go around.
Alright,
Doesn't have to go to the county, I guess.
no county.
Hmm.
MRB,
I don't, I
you
mean.
guys. You don't need to see
subdivision,
this, you're good.
I think,
Let's do Chris, just,
Chris, for sure.
Chris.
Jim,
is there any NRI lands?
Yes.
Steve Slopes is back, yeah.
Okay. The French,
I don't wanna send
It's
it to
not in this
ECB,
one, not yet. The next one would.
it'll be the next, is that what you're thinking?
yeah, well, sometimes when we do, when we file the plats, we like to see where those
Yep.
locations are.
Oh, yeah, so, yeah, we are gonna want, cause Chuck's gonna want show all the NRI stuff on
Lot
Route
one.
1, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or make a note of it that it's on there.
I would show it,
Where the
he's gonna want it shown.
We have all that from the development anyway, so just.
Do you have a survey of that? You don't
So-
have.
The whole thing surveyed, yeah.
Oh, is it
Yeah, so show all the NRI, thanks for that.
Yeah, it's all,
contoured?
yeah, we have all that stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna put the contours on it, but I'll show the other stuff.
I'm thinking just Chris and Jim, I don't see any other, maybe fire, we've been doing Cheshire.
Sewer. We're gonna sewer
Yeah,
eventually.
we are gonna.
They will have sewer eventually. Whether it comes directly across the road or we come
Yeah,
across
we just-
once and then bring a ladder off the side, which might be.
Yeah, sewer's on the other side of the road, water's on your side.
Fire.
I have
Gas sitting around our side, but you know, sewer, those are won't be checked.
Okay,
Electric's on the other side too. Just replace the poles.
okay,
ECB does it.
no, we're not gonna tell
Okay.
them, we're gonna, if, once you get moving, we'll send them.
Let's try.
Let's see that.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
all right,
All right, thank you.
thanks.
You too.
We got, hold on here, Bill.
You got Bill and you got.
Yeah, always seems to probably do that.
Why don't- What's Bill here for? Oh, I want to talk about Sutter, here we got the plans for Sutter. And. Yeah.
A lot of applications filled around here.
Bill, can you hear us?
Only Bill Grove.
Bill Grove,
Yeah, he was there.
there he is. Hey, Bill. I gotta find
Hey,
this
can you
out.
see me?
No, but we can hear you.
There he is.
Hey,
Now we can see.
now we can't hear you.
How about now?
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. As soon as I went to click my video on it, it booted me, so.
Okay. We want to talk about your Clement on 21. And then also Sutter, since you're here.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna pull up your plan.
The first one is Clement one.
Clement,
One that's on, okay.
okay. Can you see the screen? Bill?
So can you hear me?
Yeah, all right, go ahead and give us a rundown.
Sure. So this property is it's at the corner of 21 and Rock Oak Hill, which is just north of Cheshire. So Joe Clement is proposing to build a new house there. It's a modular home. The driveway, there's an existing driveway culvert off of Rock Oak Hill, so we're going to reuse that to come in. And then pretty simple, just a ranch house. Conventional shallow trench septic there off of the northeast corner. There is water at the road, so we're going to use that. Electric, there's a pole across the road from the property. So they're going to have to run I believe a new set a new pole and then run underground from there to the house. The siting of the house and septic, there's kind of a clearing there. I don't know if
Yeah,
if you can see that on the drawing, but there's, it's wooded except for this kind of strip of cleared area that runs kind of right through where the topsoil stockpile is. So the idea is to put the house kind of on the west side of that and the septic on the east side of that, take advantage of as much of that cleared area as we can and not have to take a lot of woods out.
How big's the lot, Bill?
It is almost 4 acres, 3.976.
It runs down to 21, frontage along Rock Hill. And then to the north, and I guess it's in that whole wedge right there, right?
It is, yep, it's that kind of odd odd triangle shaped piece of property. Goes all the way down to the intersection at Rock Oak Hill. And it
Yeah.
currently has a Route 21 address, so we'll probably have to change that to a Rock Oak Hill address.
Right, because the parcel's addressed, yes, off of 21. Yeah, I met with them. They're a great couple and they just want to put a little house up there. Pretty straightforward. You have all the NRI stuff.
I do, yeah, there's a box there on the right that describes the NRIs. So they're in a kind of up a little bit.
Can you do a separate detail sheet, please, and keep this a little cleaner?
Yeah,
Thank you. Just pull all of your details off
Yeah,
this
like
one
existing
sheet.
conditions.
Yeah. Take the details off, do an existing conditions and then propose.
NRIs on the system.
With,
Okay.
yeah, with
The-
NRIs on the existing conditions.
okay. I had provided, and maybe you didn't get it, but the survey map, which is what I was using as existing conditions, but I can get you a site plan at a better scale than 1 to 50.
Yeah, it's just helpful to have a set that's just a little, I know there's a lot of notes, it's just it's a lot cleaner to keep them separate.
But the plat map shows the existing. I think the key, Bill, is whatever you're considering your existing features plan, make sure that you're showing the NRI detail
On it,
information
yeah.
on it. So
Okay. It's hard because I don't have, and maybe I do and I don't know where to find it, but access to the NRI maps. I have to use the PDF, which is 8.5 by 11 sheets, and then zoom in on those and try to determine, kind of where the lines are on a parcel.
Well, it's really not, you don't really even need those, it's just really the constraints. The steep
Yeah,
slopes.
what do we have? We have forests, we have,
We have successional forests, we have steep slopes, we have water course, which you don't have. One of my wetlands. Nothing, yeah, I think you just have, looks like just steep slopes, maybe some hardwoods.
a lot of trees, yeah.
Came up with the successional northern hardwoods. The open field is successional old field, wildlife corridor, and strategic farmland protection area.
Which is not even realistic because of where it is.
Mhm.
The only there is a ton of farmland, but it's down. It's on the other side, on the east.
Yeah, it's adjacent.
Yeah,
Say the hardwoods are the only.
I'm thinking hardwoods and steep slopes really are all that matters.
Okay. And there's
Yeah.
really no, I don't think it's hard. Most of it's ash. That's the woods that are there, and they're only like 5, 6, 8 inches around. There's nothing big in there that would have to come out.
I think as long as it's labeled, I think with your description of how it's already cleared, the area that you're talking about, I don't think that's gonna be an issue.
Yeah. And I would assume, they're not gonna go into that slope and take anything out. There would be no need for that.
Right. No, it's going to be on a slab.
Yeah.
I think you said it perfectly, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, this is a pretty simple one, I would say.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. So we'll do April 25th. Last meeting, or 25, planning board.
How you making out with the septic?
Good. It's got to go to Tyler for review. We're finishing that up today.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so we'll send this to MRB. Jim, Fletcher. Chris. Fire, just because it's a new house, Cheshire Fire,
No county,
no county. I do want to send it to ACB,
okay, I was thinking that.
yeah, ag, definitely not, because it's not actively farmed.
Okay.
Anybody else? No,
It was a septic guy.
Seekers type 2.
septic, oh yeah, and Tyler,
Yeah, residential type two.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wanted to add too that we're under the 20,000 square feet of disturbance.
Perfect. I was gonna.
That's
ask
awesome.
question. Is,
Everybody's got to pay.
yeah, you have the paved numbers, I was just looking, sorry, my say,
We've got Bill well trimmed.
But yeah, I was just trying to read the note, it looks like it's proposed to be paved within the right of way, which is what it was required, so.
Slope of the driveway's not an issue. I mean, it's pretty
That's
flat.
another-
Pretty flat there, yeah.
Yeah, it goes up to that clearing.
Yeah, that spot, looks like a good spot.
That's a great little piece up there.
Yeah.
I used to do that loop all the time with like running
They always look,
stroller.
like I said, always look for deer on that.
Yeah. And fox, there's
Meadow.
always fox up there and. Okay,
Sarah, good. You wanna talk Sutter?
can we talk Sutter quick?
Yep.
We brought. I don't think we planned up really. We got, can you just give us the rundown, the update? We can figure out where we wanna put it on an agenda. Can we just? Can we get it done by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right, go ahead, Bill.
What's different from what we originally saw?
So
Okay.
initially, yeah, we had
Questions?
submitted the project with only the one parcel, the north parcel. And so that was probably the biggest change is now we show both parcels. And then did a better job of spelling out the boat storage area and added the total areas, I guess, to that because of the limits in the zoning on what we can have for outdoor storage there. Also provided an updated special use permit application.
Yeah. Yeah, so there, yeah, cause you didn't show. You talked about that, there was like a driveway easement, right, wasn't there? But we didn't see any of this on the last plan, yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's I don't have any other information on the driveway easement other than the Library page, which I assume is just a, cross access easement. It doesn't spell out like a location. I think it's just, that they have to leave it open.
So. So this is crossing property lines.
Right,
So
same.
it's like say both properties. Bill,
Yeah, what? I'm just
does,
saying.
does Sutter guy own both properties?
Yes. Yep, Sutter Creek owns both.
And then, so this is the proposed
That's
one here,
new, so.
these are all existing, this is
Existing.
what we're talking about,
Yeah,
and that's crossing over. Right,
I wonder why why wouldn't they just make up one big lot?
I was gonna say do a lot line.
Yeah, why did, I mean, just a question why they wouldn't combine these two lots.
Don't know.
is it an option, Bill, for them?
Yeah.
Is that something that they would consider doing to clean it up?
I'm just looking at like the driveway apron crossing into the other parcel and. All that stuff,
Any reason you would keep them separate would be
taxes or something.
well, now we're selling one of them. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the only reason to keep things subdivided, because you never be able to subdivide it after it's merged,
Mhm.
but
So there would be variances required for that building,
Oh, my.
Because of the-
Even with the apron crossing.
yeah, just
You
that
can't
alone.
do that, yeah.
Even if it's considered part of the, the cross access easement.
I think
Oh.
that's what's written, right? We'd have to look at the legal language of what was allowed and not allowed. I agree if it. We know that as shown, they're gonna need one, so we at least need to document that, maybe you have. But it's just where their buildings are crossing over into that area, I don't know procedurally what would be required of the town. Without
Okay.
getting, we have to look into that.
that's why a lot line adjustment may be the way to go, because you avoid all of these cross easements.
Well, there
Unless
would,
he has
you would have to have at least one for the driveway to access both lots. Regardless of, unless they
Well,
combine the
it'd be all
lots.
one lot,
If they
yeah.
combine them, then yeah. you
And
would.
that's one driveway, one lot, but right now it's one driveway, two lots with a cross easement, which, like you said, you have to do the scripture verse and
Mhm.
description as to what it's for and who gets used for it. Get a lot of wherefores and thereas.
And it's a- We could make the apron, the concrete apron, we were just kind of copying what we've done for the first two buildings, but
Right. you're just
Take
bringing
it
to the
out.
road, I get that.
Yeah.
I
you
understand.
could take it
Just
right to
thinking-
the property line if the apron is the issue, but it's just, basically driveway. I think they wanted it concrete so that they can get in and out easier. But the structures all meet setback requirements.
Yeah, I physically, it's fine, the plan, but I think it's just the legality of the thing is. How we ensure that should the lot ever be sold or that. You'd still have access to the other lot, either lot being sold. Maybe you ought to ask the applicant whether they'd consider merging the two lots.
I can ask them.
Yeah, just at least ask them, and maybe there's a good reason why they haven't.
This isn't paved area.
What's
The
that?
blue- What's the,
The blue is what? Wait, MUO minimum setback line?
Bill, on your plan, you have that blue hatch. What is that referencing?
Oh, let me pull up the PDF so I can be looking at what you guys are looking at.
We're just trying to get a better understanding of how wide that road is and what fire apparatus concerns there are or aren't.
Okay.
Also, we're considering these as sides, even though the entrance to the building is. Is that what we did before for these? This was
I don't
the
remember
setback.
those first two, unfortunately.
To me, I would,
I'd have to
because it's
look.
oriented this.
I would
We've
imagine.
got
you
this
followed what
parcel
we
line,
did.
yeah, it looks like they were all cited.
I don't know, I think it was
20.
side setbacks. Fronts out here,
Yeah, I guess,
they just.
yeah,
Back here.
stacked up.
So your question about the blue, is that the area around the building? Is that what you're?
Cross hatch.
No, the
So
other hatched.
You
Oh,
have-
the other hatch, that's the existing storage area, boat storage, outdoor storage.
Okay, so the blue,
And then,
the blue hatch is existing outdoor storage area, and then the green hatch is the addition that they want to put for outside storage.
correct, yep.
I haven't
We
looked
have
at the,
restrictions on that side
I was
too.
just gonna ask, I haven't looked at the
Especially use.
special use permit. Was there a limit on outdoor storage area for the first one?
That's what he said.
Not in the special use permit. There is by zoning, there's a limit. Which we're under. Storage plus impervious can only be 70% on each lot. So the north lot with the new building and the additional storage, we're at 34.1. On the south lot, we're at 56.4, which is all existing. We're not proposing any additional storage on the south lot.
Screening, there's no screening, you can see all of this.
Yeah, I would think the special use permit being. that
Screen
it's
would be the
amended.
front, that's the only thing we really have
Yeah.
to consider.
But when you're coming down. This, you're coming, this, all of this, you can see. This is
Mhm.
wide open.
And you get some more back here.
Mhm.
Bill, it's zoned industrial, do you have any intent to apply the MUO? At all in any way to this? development?
Not familiar. What's the MUO?
That's the mixed use overlay option where it kind of opens it up for other purposes, I guess.
Not to my knowledge, no, I think they,
Okay.
they want to move some of their outdoor storage to indoor storage, so that's the purpose of the third building.
Same use and then expand the outside
So even
storage
though
area.
they could apply it, they're not gonna use it, so, there's no.
I thought their rationale was they wanted to, like you said, reduce some of the outdoor storage, put it inside, but they're also asking for an expansion. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I added that, because that's all open field now, I just envision them using that for outdoor storage in the future. So I thought it'd be best to put that on the plan and ask for permission for it. Because I think they would end up using it anyway. It's mowed field, grass, and maybe they would use it, maybe they wouldn't, but now's the
Yeah.
time to get it, officially approved, I think.
All right, well, we're gonna look at the other special use permit in detail and guess we'll go from there too.
Yeah, let's talk to Chris about, I mean, it's possible that that driveway may need to be at least expanded to get you, I don't know how, I don't know, I'd have to look at the functionality of it. What's really required versus what's not required, I don't wanna.
Yeah.
Add problem where there isn't one, you know?
Mhm.
The metal building, let's see. Where are we? On the south side of the driveway, is that? There's a big open space, is that just concrete north of it? North of the.
Uh,
driveway?
I think it's just grass area there. I tried to show what, some of it, it gets
You have
confusing with.
gravel, right, I see
Yeah,
it.
there's gravel. They're using some of that for storage. They're using some, some of the gravel area, some of the grass area for storage.
so. The hatched area, as best as you can, as we understand it, isn't technically fenced in, is that correct?
It's not fenced in, no.
Right, okay. So yeah, you would, probably board would probably want some screening here then, if that's being proposed, existing storage area.
If it's new, you know.
Yeah,
I know it's existing.
Yep.
Or, you know,
I'm just concerned about this too, this area, the visibility here.
They have such luck with trees.
Yeah, the trees.
I did put new trees in this
Yeah, we
fall.
know.
Yeah, they've,
Like that
they're on
too.
their fourth or fifth rendition of.
Mhm.
Is this grass? I'd have to go out.
I
there.
think now.
yeah, I think everything white is essentially
White is grass
or
or
labeled as
fields.
concrete, right?
Okay.
But, and then the blue area is existing outdoor storage area currently, which. I don't know if it's compliant or non-compliant or approved or not approved based on the original
Yeah,
one.
we'll have to look.
I would imagine the board's gonna require them to screen everything that's outside from the road.
Yep.
So additional landscape assets, well, I think we want Chris to look at his fire code, what's he gonna ask? For that roadway, 'cause it's not of a width that's technically required, but. We'd have to see whether or not the spacing that's been provided is suitable enough for a fire truck to get in and get out, and that might be enough.
What about you for stormwater?
Oh, he's under, this project is probably under the threshold for requiring it, but we'll have to look at the overall. There probably wouldn't be required in this, one, but it'd probably be a note like we've done on the other ones where. Common plan of development and the future plan is gonna require some stormwater requirement and retention,
Well, if we look at
Because
it like
he's-
we did with,
but there's a time
Progress.
frame. So if the previous ones were in a time frame and approved. And that time frame is since gone, we can't hold them to it now, but we can put a note on the plans required in the future. Well, if all the blue and the green is technically grass and he's just parking on it, then we're good. But if it's all coming gravel, right, Bill, you're not, is the outdoor
Mhm,
storage
yeah.
area going to remain technically as grassed area?
It would, yes, yep. So the gravel area would be the
Just the dark.
around the building, the 30 foot of gravel, that surrounds the third building.
Right.
And, the building itself, but that's, I want to say it was. I don't know, 2,400 square feet or something. Oh, 38,000 square feet, sorry, of disturbance.
Yeah, so there'd be some stormwater requirements, but not, I don't think to the capacity that we were just talking about.
so you've got existing storage at 4.17 outdoor storage. And then adding 0.9. Looks like,
Kinda. Because some of that existing storage goes away because it becomes the building and the area around the building.
Oh, you're saying where this building is, some of that.
Is currently storage, yeah.
okay, so we need to know. The exact number of proposed outside storage area.
Yeah.
With,
I've got, that's on there.
That's
So there's
on
the
there.
sheet 1. Delineates the existing outdoor storage.
yeah, I'm looking at that, existing storage area to remain 4.17.
All right, and this one says, okay, and this one says 4.68, so as it exists today.
Oh, the okay, I'm looking at the
4.68 today,
proposed, sorry.
Proposed 4.17.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, got it, all right.
Bill, can you put that note on
Confusing.
both plans? just so that the issue is there's gonna be, it's added work on your end, I know, but just make it so that on the proposed, on sheet 2, where you have existing outdoor storage, previously it was 4.68, proposed is 4.17.
Yeah,
Your sheet 1's fine as is.
Okay,
thank you.
no problem.
Then when everybody references sheet 2 and only looks
Then
at
I'll
sheet
know.
2,
Yeah,
there isn't any, we're fine. Yeah, that better.
Building itself, it's just storage, right?
the building
No.
itself, it'll just be another metal pole barn.
Okay,
So they have a rendering of it, Bill, or do you have something like that available?
It's gonna be the same as the 2 existing buildings.
And
I don't know if I have anything
yeah,
Prefab?
I think if you don't have
architectural on that.
of it, maybe you can just bring some in when you come to the meeting.
Okay.
Pictures. I don't know how familiar the board is with the building material, and I'm sure it's not.
I think all of us have to go out and look at this thing.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to. Figure out what's there, and then what's proposed, and then.
It's an amended special use permit.
Yeah, we're gonna,
amended,
and that's what I was
yeah.
gonna say, we're gonna bring it in as an amended
So we can
special
clean up the
use.
old one if that's.
So you got the.
And we're gonna
original
pull
is,
the-
17.
Yeah, Mike pulled the original
September,
for us.
we did,
Yeah,
and the original was for. Just the use of storing boats. Yep, if I remember.
storage boats and boat accessories.
Okay, I remember that, that's one.
okay, so I'm just for our
And
notes.
they're
for-
amending it to put the third building.
Yeah, so it's an amended special use permit to add. Third building,
40 by 80 pole barn.
so add proposed storage area to sheet 2. Proposed outdoor storage area. Calculations. Pictures of existing building and proposed.
Plan.
Yeah, I think that'd be helpful.
We need to figure out what we wanna do with the.
I think Chris is
property
gonna have to
line.
look at fire code, when he wants to require, not required. Based on the additional site. The outside storage area with boats, I mean, how they're being stored, I don't think that's been an issue, I don't think technically even the location where they're being stored is an issue, I think it's how they're being screened.
Screened
is
is
the
the
main
issue, yeah,
issue.
So
And then-
you don't want to set a date yet? Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And Phil, if you aren't proposing, I don't know, I have to. I think that's to be within the watershed, I believe, it's required to do water improvement when you're over 20,000. Assuming this is, there would be some stormwater, like. That would be required.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. I think I think maybe the microphone's on the other end of the room and you're trying to look at the screen and talk.
I'm sorry, I apologize. County Canandaigua, as you're familiar, has that 20,000 square foot threshold for stormwater. It's within a certain area. If you're within the watershed, I believe is the code requirement. So if you are, I don't recall if this is or isn't. If it
It's
is,
not, no, it's outside the
Okay.
watershed.
And it might not be required in that capacity. And the other trigger would be adding parking, which I don't believe this is technically adding any parking. So there might not be. There might not be a requirement for stormwater, but I can assure you the town will probably require a note that says something along the lines of a larger common plan of development and future site plan, future improvements on site would trigger a need for stormwater to be complied with. So that we're not skirting under that 1 acre every time we add a building on here.
Right. Yep, I check, yeah, general note 3 on the plan
Okay, yeah,
kind of covers that, but it may not be strong enough for what you're looking for.
I had an eye doctor appointment today, so my eyes are awfully blurry. I can't
Okay.
really read it though.
More than normal.
Sorry, yeah, more than normal.
All right, so this is.
Well, this thing. Was distributed back in December to a lot of people. This is still under 22,083, right?
Yes,
Same application.
Yep.
So I don't know if you want to send it back.
I'm gonna look, I will look at
It was, sent-
original approval.
I would,
it was sent to Chris Jensen, Dave Conti, MRB, Ontario County, Bill Wright.
yeah, I would just follow suit and resend the updated information.
Yeah, let's
to
do
them.
that.
That way they have the latest and greatest and there isn't concern about what plan sheet they looked at versus. The ones we looked at.
This will be the first, yeah, we're gonna send so the referral request will go out via cloud permit. Okay,
And Mike, if you have the original SUP,
Mhm.
if you could put that in, I guess we're still working FTP site. That's where it is now, the application.
we might wanna upload, we might wanna
Oh, you want
throw this into
cloud
cloud permit.
The old one?
The old one into cloud permit?
Let's figure that, I
Okay.
think that,
If you want to move the whole application.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking, we might
Okay.
wanna. You know what, maybe we give it a new number then,
Yeah,
that'll just to keep it consistent.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
all right.
Yeah, just make sure it replaces 2283.
Yeah.
The board doesn't think it's a separate, a new application for a different.
Okay.
An MRB did a review back in December.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
did.
remember it. Well, I think the only thing we need to do is just compare what the new. this-
The SUP.
Well, I would-
Floodplain and floodway boundaries should be
Look at it,
shown,
See what's different.
zoning table. Bill, did you take into account a lot of the reviews that came across with the original plan and factor that?
Yeah, yep, I think I've got all those addressed
Okay.
on the new plan.
I
Thank
should
you.
have started with that question to you, Bill, I'm sorry.
Mhm. I should have too, so.
Concrete washouts. 2-pager MRB.
Isn't that standard?
And, I mean, the first page is half a paragraph.
Half a paragraph is just
Paragraph.
saying what it is.
All right, so we don't know what date yet we're gonna do this year, huh? Or we'll shoot for a date and we don't make it. Up to you, Sean, as how much, what you wanna do as far as moving it over to cloud permitted and. There's no ZBA involved. it's just
No, I mean,
special use.
honestly, we could put it on the 11th,
April.
if that's enough time for everybody.
Yeah, I don't necessarily believe them, I'm not gonna spend much time on it. In
Sure.
terms of getting it to that first meeting, I think it's more of a cursory review at this point. But I think the more important part is getting the updated grant to the outside agencies to make sure they don't have anything additional.
Right. Right, and which means uploading them.
Yeah.
Okay, why
Probably
don't you,
best
would
to
you
keep on
move
the
it to cloud
25th.
permit? And you sign a new.
Yeah, we'll assign a date, so to be determined, but I'm thinking,
411.
or-
mark.
yeah, 4/11. Question mark, maybe the 25th, but
Yeah, I mean,
April for sure.
yeah, I agree, I like that. Okay.
So
All right,
Bill,
Bill.
Bill knows what he has to provide on that.
I'll let Bill know, I mean, he'll get a formal email, but Bill, are you good?
I think I am, yep. I
Okay.
would appreciate it if you could summarize in an email, just so I make sure I get everything you're looking for, but I think I've got it.
Okay. Great, thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good day.
day.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to go back to the county because the county's shown as being withdrawn. Okay,
Yeah, we'll send it back out to everybody.
And I had a feeling it'd probably be the 25th just because of.
I think with the time, yeah, that it can't, I want it, it'd be nice, but
Right.
it's ideally,
Something happened on that first one that went out and some of it stopped, so I don't know who did what.
well, it stopped because we needed much more, we ended up
Right.
needing more
We're missing
detail,
something.
yeah. Alright. What do we have? We have Scott, Tim Ash,
back
who's
to
Tim
the-
Ash here for. Tim, application,
Harder.
oh. He's off now.
so on 21, it was 425, I think was the median, right? I think we picked on and There was. It was taped.
What are we talking about?
I'm
Sawyer?
sorry, I've gone back to the original house they're building on.
Oh.
425.
Oh, Rockwell Hill is
Seeker.
425, Seeker
Tape two, all right,
is type 2.
press on.
Tim and Scott Harder is here.
I'm here.
Hi,
Let's go.
I had some difficulty getting in. I eventually had to get a Zoom commercial account in order for it to let me in. I do not know why, but that did it. So here I am.
You were blacklisted.
you must have done something
Yeah,
wrong.
we said, anybody named Harder, don't let them in.
I don't know. It never happened before. It took me a half an hour. I switched computers. I did everything. So here I am.
Okay, so we're talking 21, 23, 21, okay.
So this was the previous application.
Okay. I don't even know what this one yet.
Tell us about it, Scott.
That's Grove.
We're here because the owner did not wish to install the pervious pavers that were originally shown on the landscape plan.
Yeah.
Instead, we put in other water control and water treatment features. But when the house was reviewed for certificate of occupancy, Chris Jensen flagged this item and wanted us to bring it to you for an amended site plan approval, in that the pervious pavers were not installed and were not proposed to be installed.
So it's an after the fact, okay.
Yeah, we did install other features that we think are good water control and treatment items that surpass what was originally, I would say, an amenity from the landscape architect who did the landscape plan. It's not that we're not being responsible. We are being responsible. We're piping the drainage. We've got some catch basins in the front yard. We're taking it to a dry well for buffering, and then it's flowing into a rain garden thereafter. So we think we have a system that is good in terms of water treatment, but the pervious pavers really aren't desired at this point.
Okay. The ZBA, were they involved with this application at all? Did he need relief on lot coverage? Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, if this went to ZBA,
Then you
I have to pull the previous, when was this approved, do you remember?
A couple of years ago, and I think we were, in terms of lot coverage and all that,
Faintly remember.
we were okay. We went through, you know, the analysis, and we were okay. I mean, I think
As far as lot coverage, you're okay, Scott?
yes.
Okay, so then I guess you're only dealing with the revision of the site plan, which would be the planning board, which is good for you. So then it would just be bring it back to the planning board instead of impervious. There's another way to do it as proposed. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Where you see on the drawing that you currently have before you, I X'd out on the landscape plan where the pervious pavers were proposed, and just make reference to the town's driveway section detail. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're replacing the impervious with the pervious, or excuse me, the pervious with impervious now.
That's correct, but we are nevertheless putting in a system that we feel is
Right.
very adequate.
But in the town's eyes, even impervious, excuse me, pervious systems are considered structures, right? That still count toward the lot coverage?
As far as I know, yes.
Permeable
correct.
pavements, okay.
Yes,
So
Yes.
you're not
So they're-
really changing the lot coverage percentage.
Right,
Correct.
have.
We're
been-
just replacing it with the type of material. Okay.
Yes, that's correct.
Simple enough. I think we
Alright.
could do this probably on the 11th.
Yes.
It's an amendment.
That would be great.
What do we want to say?
Does this need to go anywhere? It's Chris.
ETB,
I sent it to Chris,
I don't wanna send to the ECB.
you need us, we'll look at it as we do the resolutions and make whatever thoughts.
Yeah, we won't send it to you.
It's more of an engineering.
I think if Harder can.
Do you want to
explain
see,
it at the meeting.
do you want to see
board.
it? MRB?
No, I don't think there's a need to. I think what he's proposing makes sense. I think we'll look at it as we do the resolutions. If I have any thoughts on it, I'll make a mention at that point in time. But Scott could probably evaluate or give the overview to the board at the
Okay.
meeting. I think the board can make a decision. based
Yeah.
on that.
So just be Chris. There's a outstanding or ongoing seeker, I guess. You don't have to redo that. or-
No, I think it was type 2 before. We'll probably just do it again just because we'll just say it's a type 2. As opposed to having to
Amended.
backtrack it being, oh, it's an amended, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Just pull it out.
Keep
and
that
make it
simple.
type 2.
Okay, so we would do it on the 11th. Chris Jensen's the only
That's it, that's all I have.
referral. Just check the previous application. that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, just make sure there was nothing
Crazy.
mysterious. Any string attached. That was the only issue that Chris had in issuing the C of O was.
Yes, not getting the C of O yet, and maybe just getting a temporary one is affecting the owner who's trying to secure financing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an issue.
That's been happening with,
And you put the landscaping in according to shoreline guidelines, or whatever the landscape plan showed, there was no variation there.
I don't know that all the landscaping is complete at this time, the proposed landscaping, I think due to weather conditions.
Okay. That may be one other thing that the board may ask, just to make sure that the
Okay,
landscaping was done in accordance with the landscape plan.
I think it'd be a condition, whatever we conditioned on last time, I'll just add that language in there plus.
Yeah. That's what, yeah,
That.
pull out the original.
the original approval.
I remember cash.
I need to find the CPN. Okay,
All right. Thanks, Scott.
okay, thank you very much. I'm glad I was able to hook in.
Thanks for hanging on.
thanks.
Okay, take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Is this one on gimbals? Is this the one that changed numbers, or? This is the one that Kim had said. It went in as 22, but really it's 20, because remember we were asking. Where's 2320?
Yeah, this is the one that. It kind of got like locked down before we removed
Cloud
the
permit.
We had this pre-consultation meeting requirement that was getting everybody all messed up because you couldn't move an application forward without that, and we don't need it. Let me. Pull it up.
Well, whichever one
Anyways,
it is, I guess.
Yeah, you got it, hold on,
That's Mark's.
I didn't
What do
see
you
the bring
shot
the
there?
marks on here, did you?
Mark's and Gimbal Road.
No, I mean, I,
Oh,
on the Zoom, in Zoom.
Oh, I didn't, there was a one fellow, I guess.
That was
Is
just.
there anybody left in there?
No, it's just us.
Okay, either way. Keep waiting.
Yeah,
long
that's
enough.
it. It's just us.
We keep waiting long enough, they drop off. Okay, so,
All right, Grant.
what were you showing this Grimble as being 22 or 2020?
Let me find it. 20. Are we showing as 20?
That's the other thing, there it is, it's
Right
20.
here, 20.
Okay, well then the next Mr. would be what's 22, but that's another, okay. Maybe there isn't a 22. So they're requesting a subdivision and a site plan approval combined?
Right, is that, yeah, is that two
22.
separate applications?
Requesting a single lot subdivision. Single lot subdivision.
Requesting a single lot subdivision and a single stage.
It's a single lot subdivision. You have one lot, you're gonna keep it.
One lot,
Yeah, it's just.
they're just
it's a
taking off
lot.
the house lot.
But it's like.
So it's
a
two
lot
lots, so they're splitting the.
Crackers,
lines.
cracker, wait. what's that?
Yeah.
Cracker,
That is
cracker.
one busy lot.
Holy moly. They found the only flat spot kind of on that lot. All right, we've got we've got two applications here.
So you do-
Wait,
Maybe one's 20, one's 20.
no, this is 22 for both. We'll figure that out.
22A.
Okay, so it's two. There's two actions, subdivision and, oh, we already have a plan, a house plan.
Yeah, he's ready to
Mhm.
cut and run.
Did
cut
you
and build.
see, what's his name, on Hickox? How quickly that house is going up?
No, I haven't been over there.
Mhm.
It's there. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, on the, Union.
Yeah. Mhm. It's all framed up. All right. It's too bad Marks isn't here right now.
So just a two lot subdivision creating the lot off the parent parcel.
Yeah,
And then he's
And
got
then it's
what
just-
looks like NRI lands, at least highlighted, I'm guessing steep slope.
It's for the resolutions.
Oh, yeah.
60% is this. This area is identified. I'm gonna see the label for that.
there's 16 to 30, there's
That must be 60.
31 to
Yeah,
60,
that's this.
there's 0 to 15. Is that where the house is?
Yeah, that's 0 to 15. This is 16 to 31, 31 to 60.
Wow.
He doesn't show the proposed house location on the plan.
It's a separate plan. I think.
That's the plan, the subdivision plan, which does it show? Do you see
Doesn't show
parent
us
parcel?
this.
There's nothing on here about parent parcel.
On this map, it shows lot one, lot two. Lot one is this, lot two is the remaining.
Wait.
House. Thank you.
So say that again?
Lot, the original lot is basically everything that you see, right?
No, but it looks like,
Carving this one out of it.
Yeah.
Keeping this as the second lot.
yeah, but I'm looking at this location map and it's showing a lot across the street. Look,
Oh, yeah, it looks like lot two. goes
yeah,
across.
so what's up with that?
So he doesn't show that lot, but he probably should at least show some of it.
Well, if
Well-
you can't carve out, can you? Look at you carving out a parcel in the middle of
Technically, when
one?
We've done that,
As long as that's front.
that would be lot three, that would be lot two, that would be lot one. 'Cause
Yeah,
once you carve out, once you subdivide from a right of way, you're creating by default two lots. That's how we've done it before.
yeah, cause this, it doesn't stay lot two,
No,
it becomes 2, 3.
Right.
Yeah,
You own by single, but you're creating a third lot because the right of way is part of the.
That-
That's how it's
I
technically
thought-
supposed to be done.
So when you subdivide, the
The right
common,
of way,
either side goes away.
it should. You
The
should,
right of way
because
has-
you're cleaning it up.
The
because
right of way has priority.
The right of way,
It
yeah.
essentially becomes a de facto. So
Right, it would be cleaning up an existing line. Now, whether or not we've always done it that way, that's how it should be done. That's my.
yeah. Okay,
So this technically, based on that thought process, would be three lots.
this would be 3,
The
not
lot
2.
proposed and then the
Two
two
new
new lots from.
ones.
Subdivision.
Okay. Alright, well, we need to get that clarified. All right, so
I'm sure they're gonna argue that.
of course they are, because it's Brennan and he's gonna,
Well, essentially, we're doing what. They could go ahead and sell the lot to the north. Right now, if they sold this, they'd have to sell it
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
But now with the subdivision occurring with the road, this lot becomes a separate lot.
All right, so. Amend,
I think,
I wanna see what
I'll
they
look
put
at some of
on
the
there.
other subdivisions that we've done in the last year or so, just to see if we had any ones that were like that. We allowed stay. Cause it was consistent.
I don't remember
I
any.
just don't recall any.
Was one, no, that was, that one crossed the corporate limit. It went into Bristol or something.
It
Remember
would,
that
it
one?
would be good just to have.
Yeah,
done
one
to
across
show
municipal
them
owners.
Exactly what we're gonna tell them to do, just so that. Not that it matters, I'm pretty sure that's correct. That's how I would say that.
As far as showing the detail on the other side of the road, well, if it becomes part of the subdivision,
I
yeah.
think he needs to at least show the lines on the other, there's no, I guess in my mind, why can't he just show the line, show the zigzag? Now, being that it's 3 lots, if it does, he's gonna have to
Show it
show,
all.
And then, well, he's gonna complain too about then serving.
they can do the waiver thing, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
they can do
the whole
waiver
meets and bounds.
And just show the lot with the acreage, separate acreage.
Check that with a subdivision, if you have a property that crosses a public
Yeah,
road,
You have to look at town requirements, town law requirement, and we'll also look at the subdivision requirements, and then we'll also look at state requirements. But then I'm gonna look at future previous projects, to see what we've done.
because the lot could have been there before the road went in. And that way the
Right.
Oh,
description of the lot across the
Yeah,
road.
I think it does
But now-
exist like that. I
Yeah,
don't think, I'm not questioning whether it does exist that way. My thought is the reason you technically should be cleaning it up, it's, you can't have, they're trying to get away from the cross lots. So when a subdivision comes back in, you're by default creating a new lot because the right of way cuts through it. And you're cleaning it up to prevent that dual lot
the
scenario.
right of way is the property line. Yeah.
Right,
In the old days, they used to put roads in.
all the way to the center line. That's how
The
they.
center
built
line,
it.
yeah, all the deeds ran in the center.
Right, no, we don't, so.
Mhm. And that's a town road, right? Yeah.
I believe so.
it is, so and also you see that little snip. There's another lot there
Yeah,
too.
there's a.
It looks like it's an existing
parcel.
lot.
Yeah, so there's a parcel there,
this one.
this guy. So you've got the edge of this parcel here.
And he's got.
And
frontage, it's not
here.
Like frontage is gonna be an issue for him. So it's really just the filing of a third lot that they're gonna be paying on.
Mhm.
And Bridenstine having to do additional survey to some degree.
Yeah, I don't think having that tag is an issue. It's there now.
It just seems like it would be an issue connecting. Yeah, we're gonna have to look into this.
I think we just luck.
Well, if you ever try to subdivide this, use that as access, then there's an issue, but he's
Mhm.
not asking for that. What is that for? 130 feet?
68 here,
Oh, 60, that much?
and that, I don't know, it doesn't look like it, but then you'd still have, he's got this,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well, he's got plenty of frontage.
Yeah,
All
322 over there and 60 there.
right,
Here, yeah, I don't know what, 256.
Okay,
so yeah, you've got
all
to
right, so we need to
find
dig
out,
into
you
this.
have to assign a number to the subdivision. And one to the site plan. I think you got an extra number out there hanging, maybe you can use that 22. Because if
I'm not sure how easy
you
it
have
is.
20 and
for me to
22
go
for the
back.
two. For both. I don't think that was the intent, because you had 21, which was harder in between, so anyway,
Okay, all right, so we've got the subdivision, which we have questions about.
Right, I think it's a simple enough change if that's the issue. It's not hard for them to do that modification. And it looks like the existing lot that has the driveway and the structure is already on it without really any question. They got the setback there. Question is, where's the septic system? Unless it's on sewer, I don't know if Grimble is sewer or not. But
I don't
that
think
would
so.
have to be shown if that's not shown, just to document that it's got space. All the structures around that property. So that wouldn't be an issue.
Right, and also say they wanted to. I mean, you can't build another house on lot across the street because it's all one lot. There's already a house on this proposed lot too.
In the future, they would subdivide.
You're gonna have to subdivide it.
Whether or not it's required or not, I don't know. I think it's good practice. I don't know if it's technically.
It seems just cleaner,
Hmm.
but all right, we'll have to look, we'll have to dig into that.
So the subdivision would be seeker unlisted, and you do a separate seeker for the site plan?
Yeah, you would
Right.
do two separate, because I guess I'm thinking there's two separate applications.
Mhm.
Subdivision, we run through and say, subdivision, and not for sewer, then we need to show the septic system on there. So that we can verify you got proper separation from the
Okay.
lot line, because there's restrictions for that.
Okay,
The other then is whether or not they need to create a third lot or not, because there is one. I think, that's one thing I'm seeing for the subdivision. And then on the site plan, we go through and.
Oh my god, this has every possible NRI feature you could ever imagine.
oh, yeah, it's a-
Oh, yeah,
This is where
floodplain,
we went up the
stream,
road.
take the ECD out there.
so, yeah. You do like a little,
Do it all in one lot. It's got a water course too, right?
yeah, it's got a floodplain, a stream. Significant, extremely steep slopes, maybe some hardwood, but I didn't see that yet.
Is there a site plan on here?
Turtles, is there an eagle, called eagle on the site? Site plan is, hold on, yeah.
Whoa, look at that
Wowzer.
driveway.
What?
Yikes. Hope they're 1%.
Maximum 15% slope for the driveway,
What?
Really?
15%.
Oh, 15. I think you said 50.
No, 15, I'm sorry.
Ski slope.
Eyes are coming back to me, but maybe not.
Does he have a landing area down at the?
It looks like there is based on the grading, but it would have to.
That's gotta be 3%.
Wow, look at all these check dams,
Yeah,
holy moly.
it's going down.
Well, this is like an example of you can engineer
That's a
anything.
septic system there, the green.
Yeah. It's
Okay, so
it's septic, so the other side should show the sub, it's gonna have to show the existing septic. It's got well too.
Where's the well?
No.
Oh, I see it.
Here,
No way.
I don't know where it is on lot two. Where's the floodplain that you guys?
It's right,
The other lot, I think.
it's to the right,
Is it this line?
yeah,
This is the
yeah.
boundary of it. Then it just goes away. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, what happened there? Oh, there's a,
That's his
There's
disturbed
a
area.
stream.
I can't follow where, if this is this plan, it does, it says FEMA flood plan. But the line comes up and then I can't see where the boundary, unless it blends in with his property line, which.
it goes,
I see it.
it
now,
crosses the driveway, you
Okay.
see it? Yeah, yeah.
As the stream comes in. So he's grading in the floodplain, which would require a floodplain permit. Watershed man, or from floodplain manager.
I don't know, he might need variance for steep slope stuff, I gotta look at it. For what we allow and don't allow in extremely steep slopes. I gotta pull that out.
Well, the driveway's over 10. We've allowed 15%.
Yeah, I think it's allowed,
one.
I think you allow 12 and then anything over has to have highway superintendent's approval or something like that
And you have to have the landing area,
in the landing area.
so you don't.
So it
Slide
off the
through
cuff,
it.
it appears that he's meeting that criteria, but I would have to match.
Mhm.
He's building in the flood zone, which does require that Chris to issue a special permit from them. And yeah, it's a steep slope, I might need a variance. for
He
that.
might need a variance, I've gotta look. I need
He
to
shows
look
that
at,
he's outside of that steepest part, but
yeah, but even the. I think he's in the extremely steep, or I don't know, the one in between, kind of steep.
he's at 2-on-1 coming straight down.
Yeah,
to
he
his
does,
house.
it like sheets down. Wow. I would wanna build out here, but. Hey,
I think you're pretty up high there.
Well, I was gonna
It's
say, I
probably-
wonder if
probably
you could see
great
the
view.
lake.
You probably either see the lake or see the mountains, Crystal Mountain. I remember the Grimble's off 21.
yeah, is Grimble almost to the town line?
Was that the one off Woolhouse or is that the one?
No,
No, off 21. Seriously. Let's. Which map?
there's more of the roads.
That's what I sort of said.
Oh. Oh, yeah, it's right at the town line, I knew it. It's right on, it's by Bloomfield,
Down south.
it's off of Hopkins,
Oops.
32, you gotta go to 32. And then you hop over. Here, Chuck, Fisher Hill. Here's Fisher Hill, here's 32, it's right here.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Yep. Wow, that might be right on the town line. That's the lot there. That out parcel is. And that little leg that you had was that little,
Yeah,
that is the last property in the town.
wow,
Think, looking at this,
I'll pull it up on record.
can have Bristol annex it. Okay, do you have the, do you want to postpone? Well, what do you want to do with, do you want to put it on the 25th?
Let's put it on there
Okay,
tentatively, I guess, and see what we can pull together,
subdivision and site plan.
yeah.
I guess, because, I mean, technically it meets the criteria, it's just a matter of us do some research to
Yeah,
Certainly,
get more information.
so.
and you're gonna see if it needs any relief
so,
with ZBA.
Yeah,
That would be the thing that would derail
It'd
it.
be-
yeah, I'm gonna look into that right away.
Okay, and the subdivisions
We'll
unlisted.
figure that out too.
All right, as far as referrals, definitely ECB, whatever
Cheshire
subdivision.
Fire,
Subdivision required county,
Chris,
public hearing. Or subdivision,
Fletcher.
Yeah.
It does not require county. Well, I need to look and see. It may in its proximity to the, well, no, to the town line.
Mhm.
Okay.
And at that point, we could refer it over to. Was it, did I say Bloomfield? Yeah,
Bristol,
Yeah.
Bristol.
Bristol,
So I'll check on that.
And I think it's on Jim still.
Yeah, I got Jim.
wow, you're close there too, it could, it's almost East Bloomfield,
That's what I thought.
you know, it looked. That's the road, okay. It could be East Bloomfield all of it.
I don't think it's Bristol.
Yeah, it's up here.
All right. So ECB, Cheshire Fire, Chris Fletcher, MRB, and then possible county planning board.
Tyler, No, that's out.
No, is that on the? I'm gonna say it is because of
It might be.
that creek, but I don't know.
I think you're better off putting them on there, I mean.
Yeah, I'll put him on with a question mark and he can say no.
Are you, it's not a type. It's a creek,
The blue line,
It's a blue line.
and then it shows up as a blue line. We had a floodplain. Actually, is it?
Yeah,
They don't label the roads in there. Yes, it is.
mhm.
Are they 100 feet from the creek, the house? Yeah, they regulated it. Anyway. He doesn't show the setback, does he?
I'm gonna say it's,
I don't
is.
see it, I don't see it. The line over to it, so probably not. But he does identify as a class C stream.
creek goes up and sort of does a horseshoe.
I gotta believe it. I mean, here, he's definitely, the driveway and that creek are not 100 feet apart. So he probably needs a variance just for that part. If not, the house, right, the driveway's
I think
considered
the,
structure.
it is, yep. All right, we'll look at that. He might need more than, so he might need steep slope and
Mhm.
stream.
So I mean, you could probably. Move the subdivision forward and then hold the site plan back until he gets the variances.
Of course, if the creek gets that high, we're all in trouble.
Right,
Yeah.
that's true.
But, you know, it's, it's more, it's horizontal distance we measure, not vertical.
He's gonna have to show the tie distance from the house to the stream. I would think you'd want it everywhere.
Yeah,
closest
all the
spot and
setbacks.
House. And he's gonna have to do stormwater compliance. He's almost 1 acre. But because where he's, I think he's in the watershed. I don't know. We'll have to double check that. I have to look at our requirements to see how they're written. Possibly he's got to do some stormwater like we do on all residential homes. Whether or not he does or does not.
Well, he's got check
I
dams
might not
and
know.
he's
Okay,
gonna need. His ENS is gonna be pretty extensive there too.
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, he's showing a lot of check dams and diversion swales getting around to where he's gotta go, but. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a bad project.
Now we know I'm
There's a lot
hooked.
going on there.
Now we know
You
why
had to
they're not
say.
here. That's funny.
I don't like that.
Like, listen, they're gonna eat me up on this one.
Do you have pre-application meetings with these folks before they apply, or they just all of a sudden apply and then you start?
Some
looking?
do and some don't.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Something like this, they should absolutely. They
I
you
think-
need to give us the heads up.
Yeah, I think we know, I mean, the big projects that are more complicated, they always wanna come in and talk to you and figure out their steps, right?
Mhm.
But then you have these, what I think is perceived as being a fairly cut and dry application, and they think they got it all.
And
And then they don't attend this, and then we hit them back with, well, you're gonna need all these things. And then they get delayed, and then that's when they start getting annoyed.
I feel like this should be a mandatory meeting. Honestly, like you should be at this meeting, and if you're not,
I
I don't know, I kind of feel like
You
they
guys
should
do a
get
good
kicked
job.
off.
I mean. There's a lot of
Touched on.
factors that come through this. One of the things I want to talk to you guys about, but I think. The way I've seen it done, and everybody does it different. Everybody does it at different times. Everybody does it at, I mean, different stages of the process. The smaller communities typically use this as the gatekeeper to getting in the door, which is for the most part what we use it for.
Mhm.
They leave the option, you wanna come in or not come in, but when they decide to have one, they do require the applicant to come in because. It's big enough in their mind that they wanna have dialogue. So that's like their pre-application, but these smaller ones, they utilize the boards to do it. Farmington does this kind of like as a monthly, let's see where we are in the process, whether it's a new application. or it's an old ongoing one.
Oh, just like a
Construction.
status.
That's just the status meeting once a month, everybody comes, gotta come. But they stagger theirs, it's pretty much a whole day, but they stagger at time slots, so like. 1 hour's worth of time has got 4 people, they schedule before, and they send their notices out the week before.
Okay.
And they say, if you can't attend, send me an updated email on the status. of your
Oh, that's
project."
nice.
And they stagger it that way.
Okay.
I think that the way you guys use it, I think it makes sense. I think it's just a matter of, I think the biggest benefit from what I see is these zoning determinations. Because even though we see an application, we deem it, this committee, we're ready to move forward. The zoning one is where they get derailed. That's where, you know, if that doesn't come out for 3 weeks later, they think they're coming to that meeting a week and it's like, whoops, sorry, you need a variance. Can't see you now. See you next month.
Mhm.
That's where I think the issue is. And you guys are the only community that does the zoning determinations, and I think it's the best thing. More communities should do that because for those reasons, there's always something that gets missed. Because here it doesn't get missed, it's just timing. As you guys got so many of them that you're going through. But I think that to me is the biggest situation.
Well, Mike, you're gonna do the zoning terminations?
Mhm.
Maybe they could be done before PRC.
Maybe just
We thought about
I don't know
that.
how,
Yeah.
I know it's technical and I know it's time consuming. But maybe there's a cursory level that is I don't even know if that's even possible, like 50% of the way, I've done it 50%.
No, I've thought about that.
We're good, you know, like.
We talked about that, we talked about, one of the reasons we changed the meeting, like it's not immediately right after all of our applications, was to give us time to look at this stuff. So I think that's a good idea.
I think.
Yeah,
even
it'll
if-
tell us what the issues are.
Yeah, even if it was like, all right, I know this one, the issues that we're talking, setback from stream, steep slope, like if that was the zoning determination focus. Don't worry about all the other code compliance stuff. Yeah, we'll figure that out. If you didn't have time, maybe those are the type of level, you know, bird's eye view, big ticket items that you see that this project could have an issue on, that would nip it in the butt, because sometimes the applicant does a good job, like, oh yeah, I know I need a variance in X, Y, and Z. When we get those, then we'll figure it out from there. If they missed it, they missed it, but when we get these single family home residential ones that they're trying to pass it off like they're good,
Mhm.
Right.
that's when we have the issues. I think that you guys gotta figure out what works best for you internally in terms of time frame to get that. But those determinations are a great asset that you guys provide, I think, everybody. And it's tough, because I know it's a lot of legwork, but they do provide good value.
Yeah.
And it puts onus on, hey, applicant, we reviewed it, and this is where it's gotta go and why it's gotta go there. That's good. From my standpoint.
Well, you can also deem whether the application's complete or not too. 'Cause-
Well, that's kind of what I thought.
Yeah, well, that's
that's
true.
our task, right? Like, but it's hard.
But if it
without
needs,
that,
if
you
it
don't
needs a
know.
variance. There's no use bringing it to PRC.
I struggle the most at the end of the conversation with the applicant, and we're like, what board meeting do you want to go on to?
Mhm.
That to me is the hardest part, because I'm like, well, I don't even, I mean, technically, it looks like they have everything, but they might be missing some of these things that would technically stop it from moving forward,
Or you find something that requires ZBA
right?
after the
Or
fact.
another committee that you weren't thinking
Yeah.
of that it has to go to. That's the only where I see the zoning law determinations playing a larger role than they do now. Is that if it was possible to get them before this meeting, then maybe we would be in a better spot. With this meeting to make that call as incomplete or it's complete, you know,
Mhm. Agreed. Well,
because
think about it, that you guys, you know your time better
I don't
than
know.
we do.
Yeah,
It's easy for us to say.
that's right. I mean, I'm trying to figure out the value of this is having them here. I agree with that.
I think
Them
that
being
is
here
too.
so
I
we can
mean,
talk through it.
had somebody from Mark's been here,
Yeah, you can answer a lot of the questions.
Almost all applications, it's better having somebody explain it for us, right? Walk us through what you're doing, hear our questions and comments. And then the second benefit is we technically are the gatekeepers for the board meetings, where, does there enough information to move it on, or do we need to hold it back? And I know that we haven't really been doing a lot of the checklists, and I don't know if that's a requirement or not requirement. I know the zoning determinations play a large role in whether or not it goes forward or not. Maybe we just have to look into that and what
Yeah.
makes the most sense internally for everybody.
Mhm.
Cause it's a great asset that you guys provide. Without a doubt, and how you provide it. Our communities don't even offer this version. You know,
So what do we wanna do with this one?
I think the subdivision, the one that we just looked at, where subdivision site plan.
Yeah,
And my gut says the subdivision probably meets all your subdivision criteria. And it's just a matter of us determining whether or not,
2,
whether or
3,
not they need a third lot or not. What they need to do before Friday is show the septic system on the existing lot. In my opinion. Because-
setbacks to the stream
And then,
and,
well, then that, to me, that's the site plan. Right?
oh, for your subdivision,
Yeah.
yes.
I think the subdivision application seems like it's probably enough for them technically to move forward. And then the site plan one, I agree with you, Shauna, that's probably not complete. They're probably going to need a variance application for setback to stream, and they need to show it on the plans.
Yeah, so I'm thinking we're gonna deem, we'll keep the subdivision moving and site plan will not keep moving at this point.
Probably. I mean, you can provide them an opportunity to
table it.
respond before Friday, but the fact of it all is I think looking at that first road, I bet you they're like 70 feet or less
I think so,
from the stream. And there's no dimensions for us to tell.
Well, you gotta determine if by doing that subdivision, it creates the third lot.
Right.
Somebody's gotta,
I mean,
make
on
that
a
call.
plat map, it's not hard for them to show it as a third lot and then show the boundary. And then submit that by a time frame that, it's
yeah,
just a matter of whether they want to do that.
whether they wanna do it.
Right, so I
Because
think
it's
this
gonna
we need to
require
figure that out.
Filing new,
Put them, tell them that, like we do with the septic system, right? You got till Friday to show a lot with the septic system, so. I can look at our law, town laws and state law and looking to see if subdivision triggers it, and I'll ask our surveyor. I can have that answer to you by tomorrow,
okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it the same, I'll look into it,
but we know they need to update it to show the septic
yes,
system.
I've got that,
They may need to update it to show a third lot.
alright.
okay. You got the referrals for this.
Yeah, I do.
All right,
With everything,
if I can indulge just for tomorrow night. Real quick.
alright, I'm gonna stop this. Not that anybody is on here,
Somebody's listening.
somebody's.
Hey, brother, what is this?
So I think Black Point is ready to go finally.